When a boy hides his pain, the world loses his potential. And to be clear, too many of our boys are smiling in public, but are suffering in private, and the silence is killing them. Suicide is now the number one cause for black boys ages 5 to 11, and the second leading cause among boys ages 10 to 19. That's from the CDC. In 2018, we launched a smash suicide campaign because we couldn't understand what we had just read, that boys 5 to 11 were number one. Boys become men who are less likely to seek help. It's amazing of the things we do to prepare men, not realizing that we're literally creating monsters. Every day in America, over 3,000 youth attempt suicide, and most say they didn't feel heard before it happened. Feeling heard, it's another symptom that goes along with the absence of a father, right? Because fathers have a certain skill set, and that's different. Our boys are not broken. They're burdened, and no one's teaching them how to unpack it. So we understand the root cause. Boys are raised to believe that emotions are weak. We get that. I just spoke on 1 in 4 children live without their biological father. That's an amazing statistic in this country, but we lose men in all kinds of ways, including wars. We lose a lot of men through a lot of ways. Boys face comparison and bullying while on social media, and shame and silence. We do a lot of that as well. And what happens is when you don't have some of these things, literacy is impacted, violence, neglect, rejection, it becomes an issue, and not only in the home, but in schools, sports teams, and a number of other places where boys lash out, and they have already blown past the word angry. A lot of boys aren't violent. They really aren't. They're pretty much acting out what they see, some of the things they heard or survived. Many of hurts turned into hate when it never ever is taken care of or healed. A lot of you parents and teachers, people that's raising boys, don't realize the amount of feminine energy that our boys are getting that causes harm. Now, not blaming the mother, I'm saying it causes harm because his makeup requires testosterone. As his teacher, it's just the way it is. Here's some signs that you need to pay attention to with your sons when it comes to suicide. They're withdrawing from the family of sports. That could also be gang related. Sudden mood swings and anger outbursts, that can also have something to do with video game addiction. Talking about being tired of life. When you hear that, you have to respond to that. And you can't respond angrily. You have to respond with empathy and a listening ear. You have to cut off things. You have to cut the TV off, the phones. You got to put everything down and really focus and listen in when you hear that. Giving away belongings and expressing guilt. Grades and interest drop. These are all symptoms that you might be seeing. And before you leave, I'm going to give you a couple of things that you can do differently, right? When his energy changes, check his environment. We don't realize the environment that our boys are surrounded by. When I was a little boy at Pastor Elementary in the city, I got in trouble. Then I got shipped over to Higginbotham. When I got to Higginbotham, I got in trouble. Now, what that mean is my mother and father had just divorced, and so I was responding this way. It didn't matter who it was, win or lose, I was fighting. And the other point is to understand that silence is never normal for your son. It's a signal for your children. Girls and boys are dealing with suicide. So this is what I'm going to give you to help, right? And you can use this immediately. We have too many boys whose testosterone is low, their activity is low. And so here's a couple of things you can do. Encouragement builds hope, reminds boys that asking for help is strength. That's a big one. Access means normalizing counseling. I go to therapy myself. It's an important thing. Youth groups and safe spaces. It's important. Mentorship provides models of emotional strength and self-control. Mentorship is key. And at some point in time, parents are really going to start valuing mentorship. I think it's very important for you to invest in your son to get the type of mentorship that brings value to his life when he's not interacting with males. It's just so important. A mentor makes a difference. Mentors are needed in business and life. So we can't wait for the boys to break before we believe they're hurting. So we got to get involved. Healing starts when we start listening. I tell parents once a day, shut everything off. This is an area where you can improve your child's life, right? Reading, shut everything off for an hour. Same thing with listening. Shut everything off, put your phones down. Let's just talk. That's 1 hour. It's like sitting at the table for your meals. That's another area where you can have conversation, right? Remember, the opposite of suicide is happiness. It's connection. Every boy needs someone to say you matter. You're not alone, you're loved. We do that all day, right? So, again, here you go. Talk with your sons and students daily, not just when there's trouble. Support programs like the Emmy Future Leaders Program, our Smash Suicide. Get your kids in some Emmy apparel. It really does a big thing for them. Share a video. It might literally save a life, right? So talk and do these things. Remember, encouragement is huge. Use it before he breaks, because when a boy heals, a generation changes. My name is Dr. Kelvin T. Mann of the Emmy Movement. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this information for boys and girls, suicide. And today, I thank you for your time. It's always about peace.